Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Darlington Raceway, the lady in black for the 25th race of the NRSL Mountain Dew For the Win Cup Series. 2 races remain before the chase field is set. Let's get you through your starting lineup here tonight. On the pole, Charles Jackson. Starting beside him, Chris Dodd. Row 2, Peter Sands, Deanna Jones. Row 3, Philip Parker, Johnny Gardner. Row 4, Jay Barker, Martin Suarez. And in row 5, Alexander Rowe and Tony Green. Some drivers are sporting some special schemes tonight, but most are not. Looking at your chase picture, the current drivers are in the chase field: Michael Amato, Alex Gray, Deanna Jones, Jonathan Zorlin, Martin Suarez, James Shelley, Philip Parker, Charles Sanford, Johnny Gardner, Zach Flickinger, Nate Rogers, Alexander Rowe, Jay Barker, and Grayson Hayes Fedor are in on wins, while Colin Denton and Edwin Mendez sit in on points. The most points you can gain in a race, folks, is 46. Colin Denton has a 63-point gap over 5th place in points, Zachary Fitzwater, while Edwin Mendez has a 43-point gap. Caleb Hoffman is 47 behind Mendez, Tringali 57, and Dylan Young is 71 points out. If these guys get eliminated via points, they will have to win. Right now, Michael Amato is your points leader, so Denton has to be careful. If winners jump back in to the top 30, 2 of those guys, it's going to get hairy. Here's your bubble zone. Johnny Gardner has 32 points, over 31st in points. Zach Flickinger, 28 points. Nate Rogers and Alexander Rowe, 24 each. Jay Barker, 14. And Grayson Hayes Fado sits in 30th. He has a 6-point cushion. Outside the top 30, DJ Curtis is 20 points out. Seth Cole, 44. Philip Goldberg, 47. And Chris Dodd, 58. If these guys that are outside the top 30, if they are more than 46 points out, 47 or more points out, they will be eliminated. They will not be on my Armory Digital notes list, because even a win would not hop them back into the top 30. And I will let you know who is eliminated. They'll be on my notes list, but they'll be as eliminated. So that's what's at stake here tonight at Darlington. You just want to keep yourself in range. Next week's Armory Digital, anything can happen. But let's get ready for 74 laps of racing here at the Lady in Black.
Drivers, start your engines!
As the cars pull off pit road. It's going to be fun tonight. 74 laps of action here at Darlington. High speeds here at this track, man. So Charles Jackson has kind of fallen outside of the radar here. He was good, really good at Texas, which has ended up, Jay Barker ended up winning that race, but Charles Jackson was very good there. They kind of lost their consistency a while ago, and they've been fighting real hard to get it back, and who knows, he's starting on the pole tonight. A win could really help this late in the game. Same can be said for Chris Dodd. Chris Dodd starting in second. We'll find out what happens. I just had a lag spike there. I don't know what the heck that was. But anyways, green flag is out. 74 laps of racing here tonight. And it happened again. And it's still happening. As we complete lap 1, Charles Jackson is your race leader. Philip Parker in third. Haven't seen him near a lead in a long time. See, this is a very high-speed 1.3 mile track. And here comes Peter Sands on the inside in turns 3 and 4. Here comes Chris Dodd. Battle for the race lead. Jackson gets a run off the corner. Peter Sands will duck back in line. Alexander Rose up here in the top 10. DJ Curtis. Johnny Gardner, Deanna Jones. A lot of our chase drivers. And now Sands underneath Jackson again. If Jackson gets passed by Sands here, he's going to get trained. And Jackson still, and he is going to get really loose here. He's going to have to fall back. But Peter Sands will take the race lead. Now Sands is another driver outside the top 30, so trying to get a last-ditch effort here, get a win, and get in the top 30. Philip Parker could be looking for his first win since Daytona. He sits in second place. Let's head to the back of the field, see what's going on here. There's your points leader entering tonight, Michael Amato. Trying to get as many winners in the chase as he can. If this guy, let's see if we can find them. If Colin Denton takes that points lead back, then another winner will be eliminated out. Right now, 2 non-winners, but if 2 winners hopped in and Denton took the points lead, that second winner, whoever that lowest winner is, would not be in the chase field. And Denton's had good runs at some tracks this season and just hasn't been able to take the win. But him and Edwin Mendez, where is the 83? There he is. He's way back here too. These two have been the most consistent drivers without a win on the season. No, they don't make the chase. It's going to be a big heartbreaker for them. As Peter Sands getting a fight from Philip Parker for that race lead. Chris Dodd third, Jay Barker fourth, DJ Curtis fifth. Look at these guys that are here. Like, let's look at the points here. Philip Parker is 13th in points. He's been hanging around there for most of the season as he's going to make a move to try and pass Peter Sands here. Chris Dodd, 39th in points. He's 58 points out. Dodd really needs a good run tonight, just like John Arndt did yesterday at Canadian Tire, and Peter Sands is going to get passed by Phil Parker here. But Dodd needs a good run tonight. He's 11 points out of range. Now Philip Goldberg, who's 1 point out of range, we saw him somewhere. He is running 24th. He needs a good run tonight to stay in range. We talked about Jay Barker jump back up into the top 30 after last week. He needs another good run tonight. DJ Curtis is 20 points out. He's still 20 points out. He needs a good run tonight. So there are 3 guys up here, all that need really good runs. They're doing it so far as Jay Barker is going to look for second on Chris Dodd. But Philip Parker in the race lead. Fastest lap goes to DJ Curtis. And now Dodd will lose more positions. Johnny Gardner, we talked about him a bit. He's got a 32-point gap over 31st, but he is still in the bubble zone. He is still not locked in right now with those 2 wins as far as being far enough away from 31st in points, so he needs a good run. Charles Sanford, he's up to 10th. He sits 20th in points, so, you know, he was one of our later winners from at Watkins Glen, so he's trying his best. here tonight. All of these guys that have wins, they're just trying to make sure that they are 47 or more points away from 30th, 31st in points. They do not want to fall out in a big wreck next week at Armory. So 12 laps in, Philip Parker continues to lead. Jay Barker, DJ Curtis behind. So 2 Fords behind the Chevy. Speaking of Chevy, they got their 10th straight Truck Series win yesterday. So they've done 10 race streaks in both series this year. And you know, Ford, Toyota, they've gotten some wins. Not as much as Chevy. And then Dodge has not won at all. They only have 1 driver in trucks, but they have 3 in Cup, and they have not won at all. And they've had a lot of good shots, too. Tyler Merkel, Andrew Rich, Zach Rogers. Stuff happens, and they don't get the deal done. 60 laps to go, by the way. Now, this should be a 1-stop race, possibly 2. Depends when they pit. Also, not sure if we'll see a caution tonight, but, you know. Caleb Hoffman is one of those guys who was in the points range battle. He's back here, 39th, not having a good night. Mendes is going to lose a lot over Fitzwater. And if another winner pops up, as Alexander Rose lost a lot of ground, but Colin Denton's losing ground too. There's Fitzwater, he's 19th. Here's James Shelley. Seth Cole's running 15th. Now, Seth Cole has gotten it together lately. He is 44 points out, but he still needs a really good run here tonight. Grayson Ace Fado, he's 30th in points. He needs a good run. He sits 14th right now. Nico Tringali sits 13th. Points guy. Tony Green is actually in a 3-way tie right now for last place in points with LJ Toledo and one other. So running in the top 10. Austin Alves is the other one. Running in the top 10 is really good for him. And speaking of Austin Alves, he is the only driver on the season without a top 5 finish. Chris Dodd went back to 7th after he lost 2nd place. Peter Sands is back to 5th. Jackson sits in 4th. Jay Barker, DJ Curtis trying to make a run at Parker as the draft's starting to play a bit of a factor with the tire wear. But the top 7 have broken away a bit from the rest of the field. Not by much. It's not a big breakaway, but it's enough. All these guys are hungry to win for good finishes. 2 trying to make the chase. Others like Dodd and Curtis trying to bounce back into the top 30. Others like Barker, Gardner trying to hold on inside the top 30. And Parker just looking for a second win. 18 different winners on the season. Keep in mind the All-Star stuff happens in 2 weeks. Happens right after we go to Armory. Once the chase field's set. Only the winners get locked into the All-Star race. So if we have non-winners in the chase, they will not be locked into the All-Star. They will have to race their way in through the showdown. But Philip Parker continues to hold on. Charles Jackson, Peter Sands trying to catch back up to the back end of Curtis. As track position has not really changed much. A little bit back here. Ace Fado, Shelley, Seth Cole, Alex Gray on the high line. There is Austin Alves, by the way, 21st place. Not a great season for the 16 team at all. These guys continue the race hard. Hartnett and Nick Smith seem to be the slowest guys on the track. And Denton has fallen all the way to 34. So him, Amato, and Mendez, top 3 in points, having a really bad night. The racing has just singled up. And I'm going to let you guys watch for a bit and turn my mic off. And just enjoy the action. Pit stops are on the way as Philip Parker is the first to come down. Now, I'm not positive, but okay, it did not really affect how they entered pit road or how these guys on the track raced. Parker pits first, though. I don't know about that. Yeah, see, that doesn't affect them. Grayson Ace Fado came down. Jay Barker, Johnny Gardner, Tony Green, they will come down this time by. Curtis will get a bonus point here. As they pit around lap 33 to 34, it appears they will probably have to do what they did at Texas, which is pit with under 10 to go. And it looks like everybody else will come down the third time by. Some guys coming out as others are coming in. DJ Curtis leads his pack down. Now, Phil Parker is a lap down. Keep that in mind. He is 1 lap down right now. So he leads by himself. Let's see, where is Jay Barker? There's the 6. Parker will get by him easily. He's within range. But Phil Parker will probably keep the points lead, the race lead for now. And there's DJ Curtis. Yeah, Parker just passed him. That's what fresh tires will do for you. Parker will lead. Barker will be second. Curtis will come out. Oh, there's Nico Tringali. Contact. Oh, and they're around. Curtis, Ace Fado, Nico Tringali, and this is not going to be good. Jackson's into it. Ace Fado gets flipped. Chris Dodd just piled in. Martin Suarez. People riding the walls trying to avoid. Oh, someone else hit. Zachary Fitzwater's got heavy damage. Caution's out. And they're still wrecking. Sorlin gets spun out. Denton, Hartnett, Jones, Young. Curtis, Ace Fado. Did not need that at all. Parker's on the brakes for the pace car. He's going to stay out. Barker stays out, but everybody else is mostly going to come in and pit, top off, maybe take some fresh tires. So this could really hurt Parker because he was out there for a few laps. But problems merging off of pit road. We know how tight this track is, and the three of the guys we were talking about were most likely just screwed out of the chase. Curtis is probably going to need a miracle next week at Armory, depending how many points back he'll be. Ace Fado's most likely going to fall out of the top 30 with this finish, which will probably move another non-win driver up. Fitzwater, we were talking about, he was probably the one in line. He is involved. And Chris Dodd, he needed a good finish today, and this is going to eliminate him out of range. And two wins on the season, but that's pretty disappointing. But the 4 guys to stay out, or actually multiple people stayed out. Let me see. Okay, so Toledo, Brock, Austin, Shelley, Goldberg, Gray, Rich, Seth Cole, Adam Rogers, Alexander Rowe, Jay Barker, and Philip Parker all stay out. We saw what happened there. We'll take a replay in a minute. I just want to see if any of these guys pit, and they are not. Well, with that said, let's take a look at the replay. Here it is. Here's the TV2 angle. We're not going to see much there. TV1. Tringali's trying to pass Tony Green for precision when Curtis is coming back up. And Tringali gets into Curtis, gets in the green. You know, they're just sliding off. And Green's going to get lucky and get saved. But Tringali gets turned. That was another notable guy. Ace Fado's got nowhere to go. Now, they are wrecking. Now, they probably could have continued, except for Charles Jackson's going to come in. And he's going to door Ace Fado up and over. Flickinger narrowly avoids these guys. And then this is where things get dangerous. is when Chris Dodd is going to pile drive DJ Curtis into Ace Vado. Sanford gets by barely. Oh, he does hit the 88. So Sanford gets a piece. Suarez, he blows up something there. And then you got people just riding the wall trying to avoid. And Fitzwater comes in here eventually. Where is the 47? There's Deanna Jones. And oh, Tyler Merkel was going low. There's Jones. She barely misses Ace Vado, but Fitzwater, not so lucky, hits the back end as his car gets towed. So that is what happened. Let's get you to race restart. Getting ready to go back, green flag racing. Drivers out of the race: Chris Dodd, Grayson Ace Vado, DJ Curtis, Zachary Fitzwater, Martin Suarez, and Charles Jackson. Dodd's finishing 42nd. That about ends him. That ends his chase hopes. Ace Vado gets 41st. That's probably going to knock him out of the top 30. Curtis gets 40th. That all but, I mean, it's going to be close for him. Fitzwater is probably going to lose positions on Hoffman. Out of that, though, Nico Tringali continues to race. I believe the 8 is the only one continuing. Here is your top 10 rundown. Keep in mind, people did not pit under this caution. Philip Parker is your race leader. Jay Barker 2nd. Alexander Rowe 3rd. Adam Rogers 4th. Seth Cole 5th. Andrew Rich 6th. Alex Gray 7th. Philip Goldberg 8th. James Shelley 9th. And Sam Oskin rounds out the top 10. The top 12 drivers stayed out. Johnny Gardner is the first one out. That pit, Tony Green, Peter Sands, Zach Rogers, James Qualls, Jake Rogers, Nate Rogers, Joshua Sikuli. Watch out, because it doesn't show up right away, but Parker pit first. And then Curtis was in the pack that those guys all pit the third time around. Now, some of these guys might actually be good on fuel now because of that, so this could really hurt Philip Parker's chance at a win. It all depends on this fuel strategy right here. But, green flag's back out. Remember, he did go one lap on his tires, so that everyone behind him might have probably gonna pass him. Field's all bunched up again. We'll see who's gonna get runs on who. And there it is. Alexander Rowe is gonna make a move on Jay Barker. Out of our guys outside, Goldberg and Seth Cole are still in the race, and Seth Cole is looking for a really good finish now, and he is going to plop Adam Rogers up on that high line. Rowe, 3rd. Parker. Sanford did get a piece of that wreck, so he's back here. There's Tringali. No back end on that car. I'm just trying to see who out of these guys that pit. Right now, all the guys that stayed out are fighting among each other. Goldberg's up here too. They decided to stay out. Right now, these guys that pit, they're just riding. They know they're faster. They're just going to take their time here. Parker's got a bumper full of race cars. Seth Cole up to 4th. Andrew Rich 5th. Alex Gray 6th. Rich is in the top 20 in points, so watch out. If this guy snuffs a win. And he's fast. He ran as fast as lap of the race last time by. Sikuli is the fastest car left on the track. Curtis is out. Adam Rogers just ran his best lap of the race. Changed that. But Barker's got those slightly fresher tires on Darlington. And I think, did I see the caution out? No. I thought the caution light was out. Andrew Rich, Alex Gray, they're closing in. And these guys stayed out. They must have pit third time by. Gardner is up to 12th, so one of the guys that stayed out, that's Philip Goldberg that has fallen back. Not really seeing it happen so much yet because they're in the pack. But you can see they are running some 27 1s. As Jay Barker continues to drop from second. He'll move back to sixth. Parker in the lead. He's got his teammate. These two, the top two, won the first two races of the season. They're both looking to get their second wins. Seth Cole won all the way back at Phoenix. Johnny Gardner won Auto Club. You've got some of the first few guys to win races up here, and I'm sorry, that's Andrew Rich. Two tied cars, mad confusing. And Alex Gray's going to plop him to the high side. And that's going to send him back. But Alex Gray up to fourth. Could be looking for that elusive third win. Top three, top four. Top four Chevys. Seth Cole's peeking under Alexander Rowe for second. Second place gets you 2 more points than third. It's worth it. Seth Cole's going to get back in line. As one tied car passes the other tied car. This game's almost identical. Just one's on a Ford and one's on a Dodge. One's got blue rims, the other doesn't. But Gardner has made his way up now to, I believe, 10th place. Watch out. Gardner might have the car to win because they pit. Him and Tony Green. And Rich now falls. So does LJ Toledo. So a couple guys have fallen out that stayed out. And Rowe's going to fall back a bit. Seth Cole's trying to charge on this 4 car. Parker's going to get two bonus points for leading the most laps. Interesting thing we haven't thought about is next time by will be 24 to go. How slow are the 8 and the 03? They look about a half second off. Oh, let's see, 20 to go, 10 seconds each. It's a possibility that the lap down cars might get caught. I don't really think it's going to happen, but it's a possibility. Now Seth Cole gets moved by Alex Gray. Gray's moving people out the way. I think he's looking for that third win. He gets a huge run off of turn 2. I don't think Philip Parker's going to hold on to this lead for much longer. James Shelley's up to 4th. Gray and Shelley have been advancing positions since the restart. Johnny Gardner is up to 7th place. Seth Cole has lost a lot of ground. Gardner's probably got the best car on the track. Him and Adam Rogers. And Rogers stayed out. But Johnny Gardner is closing. And the other question begs, do these guys that stayed out have enough gas? Looking through the field, Andrew Rich has dropped to 18th. Michael Amato's up to 17th. We saw him outside the top 30 earlier tonight. So Amato bouncing back. Top 7 have singled it up again. Gardner's probably not going to try and be too patient here because you can tell that the guys that pit have better tires. And Shelley's going to move Barker, and that's going to probably send Barker a ways back. So Shelley will move up to 3rd. Rowe to 4th. Gardner's going to move up to 6th now. Highline run for Barker's going to hold up Gardner. William Brock, James Qualls on the high side in the back there. There's more people gaining position. Seth Cole's gaining some spots back, which he needs to do. Him and Philip Goldberg both. Gardner up to 6th place. Tony Green, Peter Sands have been right behind his tail. The top 5 are all snugged up. Is anyone going to make a move on Philip Parker? Because he's got worn tires, man. Like, come on. You can see how much faster these guys are. It just seems they get right to someone's back bumper and they can't make a move. $16 to go. Oh, Gray thought about it. He thought about it. You can see these guys that pit are way better on these fresh tires, man. And yeah, they will not catch Sanford or Nico Tringali. And we're entering that pit window. So I'm curious if any of these guys that stayed out have to pit. This is a big old train right now. Gray thought about it again, I think. Michael Amato's made his way up to 13th. Gray close but far. Really would have thought that tire wear would have been more important at a track like Darlington. Next time by will be 10 to go. Nothing going on. Eric Benson's going to lose some positions as Amato will take 12th place. So some drivers are getting enough of a run to make a move, and Gray's just still sitting here. Colin Denton's not going to get a good finish tonight. Him and Nick Smith are way back. 9 to go for Philip Parker. And Gray just can't get a run. He can't try and set himself up because he's got guys right on his bumper. And Parker's going to pit. He can't make it. We talked about it. Can you make it on gas? As Peter Sands going to pass Tony Green. And he can't. coming to 8 to go. They had to pit. They weren't going to make it. Alex Gray's going to assume the race lead. That split up the field a bit. Now the question is, do the other top 4 have enough? Because they did stay out. James Shelley's pitting. Rose pitting. That gives the lead to Gray still. Gray still has it. Rogers, Gardner, Peter Sands, they are way back here. Goldberg still staying out. Fuel, strategy. Does anybody else have to pit after this? Do the guys that pit on their caution have enough fuel to go all the way? Do we see Alex Gray pit here? Here he comes. Him and Adam Rogers both. Seth Cole's coming down. This gives the lead to Johnny Gardner, just like we thought. Peter Sands is second. 6 to go. I'm not even sure if they can make it. Will we have another wreck with someone coming off a pit road? There's Philip Parker. Gardner, Sands staying out. Oskin, Goldberg, Tony Green pitting. He's coming down the pit road. I don't think any of these guys can make it. But they're trying to. They're trying to see if they can. Gardner and Sands continue to stay out. Now Parker was the first to pit. He pit under a clean pit road. And there it is. Gardner, Sands, they're going to come down with 4 to go. Everybody's coming down. There's Alex Gray. There's Philip Parker. Parker gets by him. Shelley's the one closest to track down the 4. Now Parker is still a lap down. He's getting his lap back right here. Will there be a yellow? Because that could really screw some crap up, man. Samet Oskin's the first of his group. Him and Goldberg, they're going to come out in front of Philip Parker. Parker's probably... mind has just got blown. That Goldberg... That's right, they pit later. They took less fuel. Oskin's currently the race leader. There's Johnny Gardner. I think Gardner's going to win this race. There's Peter Sands, Parker, Oskin. Johnny Gardner is your race leader still. Do they have anything for him? 3 laps to go. Parker's trying to find a way around Oskin. They will get some draft off of Gardner. There's your top 5. There is your top 10. Michael Amato, what a comeback. But Johnny Gardner is on tap to get be the first 3-time winner. 2 to go. Are they gaining? They are. They're gaining quick. That draft's picking up. Question is, will it get to him in time? Parker is still trying to maybe find a way around Samet Oskin. He's led this whole race. There he goes. Oskin's going to let him go by. Gardner had a real big hiccup coming to the white flag. Here comes Philip Parker. Gardner blocks him. Are these guys having tire issues? This could get really crazy. Here comes James Shelley now with a huge run on Parker. Parker. Gardner. Off of turn 4. Johnny Gardner wins at Darlington. Gardner's block in turn 1 paid off. I don't know what happened there, but Johnny Gardner is a 3-time race winner. Philip Parker comes up short 2nd. James Shelley 3rd. Oh, there was a wreck. Samet Oskin gets 4th. Peter Sands 5th. My throat is dry, man. I can't talk. Philip Goldberg 6th, Tony Green 7th, Alex Gray is 8th, Michael Amano 9th, and Adam Rogers rounds out the top 10. I will see you guys next week for Armory Digital, the regular season finale, and we will set the 16-car field. Congratulations, Johnny Garner, on your win. I will see you guys next week.